You know the vibes. It's another end of a week on the Hoop Genius podcast presented by NBA 2K23. And BJ, this is a fantastic end of a week. Do you know why?
The weekend is coming.
No. This is the final week that is ending where there is no real regular season NBA basketball, because after the weekend, there is just Monday, and then Tuesday night, we are back in business, baby. The Celtics, the Sixers, the Lakers, the Warriors. Oh, it's going to be crazy. I'm excited. I'm gonna have a hop in my step. Is that the phrase? When you're super happy about something? I don't know, but I'm on gas mode 100 this weekend. I'm celebrating. The season's coming back. And it reminded me that we made our way through all the teams in the NBA and we were breaking down their offseason and whatnot. And there's a bunch of teams, well, there's 4 teams that we haven't done yet. Okay. But because the season's right around the corner, we are going to have to do all 4 in one Whistle Stop Tour episodes. And they're quite good teams. Well, I say good, but they're more interesting than like Indiana that we did last week, which was just rubbish. So the teams that we need to discuss are teams that didn't have a very good season last season, but they've made moves and they will be looking to contend in the playoffs this season. So the teams are the Lakers, the Kings, the Knicks, and the Wizards. So instead of going through them one by one, I want you to put them in order of best to worst out of those 4 teams for this upcoming season.
Kings, Knicks,
Lakers, and
Kings,
Wizards. Obviously, the Lakers have just got healthy again. The Kings, they've made some little additions to their roster. They traded for Sabonis. He didn't really have time to settle in. The Knicks obviously signed Jalen Brunson, and the Wizards supermaxed Bradley Beal. So they've all spent money to try and get to the playoffs.
I'm going to say,
best to worst.
I'm going to say best out of that group is probably going to be the Lakers.
Okay.
I'm giving the Kings some love. I'm giving the Kings second.
I like what they're doing.
And then I'm going to go Knicks, and then I'm going to go Wizards.
The Wizards. Too much is dependent on Porzingis' health, which I just don't trust for the Washington Wizards.
Exactly.
And it's a weird mix. Like, they've got young players like Hachimura and Avdia, and then they've supermaxed Bradley Beal. The timescales don't really match up. It's like, are you going to trade all your young guys for a star to come and play alongside Beal? Or are you going to trade Beal for other young guys to come and play alongside your young guys? Then they made that trade, obviously getting Will Barton, who I think is going to help them with some scoring, and getting Monte Morris, I believe, from Denver. So it's interesting for the Wizards. Not too excited about them. I wonder how long Bradley Beal is going to stay there before he demands a trade now that he's got his contract. The New York Knicks, we've spoken about them many times. I feel like we don't need to do a proper preview of them because we've already done a preview of them when we talked about the Jalen Brunson trade. I don't know if you remember me talking about how much New York fans are going to love Isaiah Hartenstein. And then he started the NBA preseason by draining like 3 threes in a row. And the whole timeline was going crazy for Isaiah Hartenstein. And I'm like, I wish you had listened. But I'm not big on the Knicks.
Since when did we start getting fired up about the preseason? It's preseason.
This is how long we've been starved of basketball, BJ. I mean, I don't know what to expect from the Knicks in terms of them sharing the basketball between Randall and Brunson and RJ Barrett, who's going to be playing off ball, how that's going to work and all of that kind of stuff. So, we're going to see what happens with them.
I just happened to watch them last night.
What do you think?
The Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, that's
RJ Barrett is a much improved player. I'm willing to bank he's going to be an all-star at some point in his career.
You think he could win most improved?
I think he's a really good basketball player. I think RJ Barrett is a really good basketball player.
Agreed.
Yeah. I don't know how.
Did you just
how good they're going to do, but
just by the way, while you're talking about that game, did you see the rookie for the Pacers? Benedict Mathurin.
Yeah, I saw
27 points.
I really like him.
He could be a sleeper for Rookie of the Year. He could be a sleeper pick for Rookie of the Year.
It's preseason. I don't.
Well, I mean, in the sense, like, who else is going to be scoring for Indiana? Given that they're probably going to trade Hill.
No, they got Halliburton. They got Buddy. They got some.
Listen, they got Halliburton, and then
they got Halliburton. They got what's the big kid? Miles Turner.
Yep. And you imagine these guys are going to be traded throughout the season.
Well, we think.
But anyway, we're not talking about the Pacers. You were talking about RJ Barrett.
Yeah, RJ Barrett is going to be a really good player. I really like RJ. I like their team. I really, when I say the Knicks, I like their team. However, I think they're not going to be able to meet the expectations. I think they have to get into the playoffs.
Do you think they'll make the playoffs though? Because there's good teams.
I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. The Eastern Conference is tough. If they do, they will overachieve. But they do play hard.
They have to make it through the play-in, I believe. Sorry, New York fans.
I don't think they will make it, but they play hard enough to make it. They were playing very, very hard. And as long as they play that hard, you're going to win your fair share of games.
Against the Pacers.
Is that good enough? Well, they lost that game. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
which is interesting. I like Obi Toppin as well, though. I like Obi Toppin as well.
Obi, they have some good players. I mean,
let's head out west though, because I feel like they're more fun to talk about now. The obvious starting point here is the Lakers, and the video that went viral yesterday. Here's one thing I got to tell you guys: the internet's not real. There was a video that went viral yesterday of Ben Simmons airballing a little jump shot warm up, and everyone's talking about it. But there's another video of him scoring like 10 straight threes. No one's talking about. So with Russell Westbrook, did you see the video circulating of him not with the team for the pregame huddle and not with the team when Pat Bev called them all over to do a huddle during the game? Did you see that video?
Okay, and what do you think about it?
Well, I just listened to what Russell said about it, because throughout his career, he never really joins the pregame huddles. He's always doing his own thing. And then during the team huddle during the game, he was talking to an assistant coach about the missed coverage on defense. So I'm going to believe what Russell's saying rather than obscure.
Yeah, I mean, those things,
like,
I don't.
Everyone's seen like a little clip and it said, "Oh, the chemistry is already ruined. They need to get rid of him ASAP." Like, I think he's going to be better than last year, and I think the Lakers will be better than last year.
No, here are the facts. Russell's going to show up and play, and he's going to play hard.
Yes.
Now we're going to nitpick everything he does, and the game hasn't even started, or the game's not even playing.
I don't like that.
And then we're just going to keep going on and on. Here's the bottom line with the Lakers. Bottom line. AD and LeBron, they have to play over 70 games for this team to have any chance. If you're going to build a team around your two best players, you have to have consistency, and you can't have it both ways. You can't have your best player play 50 games and then other people start taking responsibility for them not winning. And then the only thing that the best player does is, well, when he plays, they're 30 and they're 30 and 35 and 15. You can't have it both ways. So if this team is going to be good, not only do they have to show up for 70 games, they got to really play much better than what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Because this team has a lot of gaps. But if LeBron and AD are as good as advertised, then you start plugging in Russell and you plug in this guy, you plug in that guy. They should at least be top 6, top 7.
They should be.
They should be. But if you start now, if AD misses an extended amount of time or LeBron misses an extended amount of time, that means that player now who is 3rd, 4th, or 5th is going to have to move up to 1, 2, or 3, at least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So to me, this is about the health of AD and LeBron, and if those guys can put in 70 games, because I gotta admit, watching them a year ago in preseason and watching them now, they're playing a much better brand of basketball.
They've got a major coaching upgrade.
Yeah. I'm not. Look,
and I don't want to disrespect.
The previous coach won a championship.
The previous coach won a championship. I don't want to disrespect him, but I feel like the personality of the new coach, Darvin Ham, fits this team. It gives them a better identity than what Frank Vogel brought. Do you agree?
Well, listen. I'm just going to stick with what I know about this league. I'm a pretty good coach. I'm a pretty good podcaster. I was a pretty good player when I played with great players. Mo, I'm just going to stick what I know. I don't want to hear anyone telling me they're a good coach if they don't have a great player. That's how this game. Oh, what I got the best sets. I got the best this. I got the best out of bounds plays. I got the best this. I'm a pretty good coach. I was a pretty good player. I'm a pretty good podcaster when I'm
better than a pretty good podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if I'm talking about Victor, if I'm talking about Giannis, I'm pretty good. Now, if I'm talking about other people, I'm just trying to fill in.
I got your back. Don't worry. We're going to talk all about Kevin Herter's impact on the Sacramento Kings.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't worry,
exactly.
BJ. That's what I'm here for.
We need
give me the rock and go
players.
to work. Yeah, no, I hear
exactly.
you. I hear you. And coaching a team with LeBron, you kind of got a built-in coach kind of there anyway that we see like over the years. But do you think the Kings could finish higher than the Lakers?
I do.
Because the Kings are like sneakily making a few moves here and there.
No, they you know what? And the kid, went to my alma mater, the Murray kid. Keegan Murray. Man, he's been playing. And I don't put much stock in preseason.
We know.
But I'm going to tell you, this kid has been very consistent in Summer League. Mm-hmm. He played well in Summer League. He's playing well now in the preseason.
They say he has the aura of a veteran player already.
Yeah, he played. He shoots the ball very well. He has a nice, simple game. And I'm going to tell you something, Mo. I like kind of what they're doing. They have a lot of players. They have a lot of. So
let's go through a few because they got De'Aaron Fox, one of the fastest players in the NBA. But they paired him with Domantas Sabonis, who plays a very slower brand of basketball. He'll operate off the elbow, operate on the.
But I like
post.
him as a center.
He could shoot a bit.
Yeah.
So it's like a yin and a yang, kind of blending together. Okay, De'Aaron, you go get it in transition. If the game slows down, let's operate off the elbow. You run a little two-man game, a little pick and pop, screen roll kind of thing. I like that. They traded for Kevin Herter, who can shoot the rock from Atlanta. Call him Red Velvet.
Like
They've got Harrison Barnes, who's kind of my thing with Harrison Barnes. Every team wishes they had Harrison Barnes. He's just good at what he does.
Pro.
He's a solid defender, can shoot the ball, can attack on the inside a little bit. And then they've got Keegan Murray. That's their starting five or projected starting five. Here's what I like about their bench. Davion Mitchell, who everyone was talking about this time last year.
Love him.
Lockdown perimeter defense. Can provide you minutes when De'Aaron Fox is out of the game. Pair him alongside Malik Monk, who they've taken from the Lakers, to provide elite perimeter shooting. I think the Lakers are going to really miss that. Then Rashawn Holmes at the 5, who you could slide Sabonis to the 4 and play Holmes at the 5, or have Holmes coming off the bench. One of the most underrated bigs. And then one pickup that I liked, which is quite obscure, is Matthew Dellavedova, which is a very random pickup. I don't even know if he's still on the roster, but I know he was there for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not expecting that. I think that's more for,
I think
coaching,
that's a good locker room. He's like what Udonis Haslem does for Miami. You're like basically a coach, but you're in a uniform, so you can talk a little bit rubbish to the players. You know what I mean? Especially with like a young point guard. Well, not even a young point guard, because De'Aaron Fox has been here for a while now. But because he's always going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, I feel like having an older point guard there, and obviously you're the Sacramento Kings, you don't really get your pick of the veterans. Like the guys on veterans minimum contract that are chasing a ring, they're not looking at Sacramento Kings.
Well, I think
you go out and get your first choice. With all due respect to Dellavedova, but I like them adding vets.
When you are a first-year head coach, Coach Brown has been around the league, but here's a little trick that you do. Everyone talks about we're building culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last thing you need while you're building culture are disgruntled players who aren't playing.
Yeah.
You need pros. So I don't know what Dellavedova can really say to De'Aaron Fox. I don't think there's much you can really say. However, what Coach Brown can really, utilize, or what he can use right now, is he doesn't have to worry about the guy 14th, 15th guy on the bench talking about, man, coach put me in the game. And that's building culture. Now it's one of the things that we don't talk about, but when you are trying to change a team's culture, that's the key word. The guy, the number 2 guy can't want to be the number 1 guy.
Yeah.
The guy who's a 6th man can't want to be a starter. The guy who is 11 and 12 can't be sulking, saying he should be in the rotation. and you go on. Dellavedova is a pro. Whether he plays every night or doesn't play at all, he's going to show up and be ready to go. And that is how you build culture. So
I respect it.
When you have a young team who hasn't won, you try to surround them with pros so that those guys aren't always competing for playing time. And now we're going to put pressure on those guys. De'Aaron Fox is not going to go to practice next year wondering if Dellavedova is going to beat him out. Or
crazier things have happened, BJ.
No, I'm not saying. But what he is going to, Dellavedova is going to hold him accountable to be a pro. And that should help De'Aaron Fox this year. So I thought that was a great move by the coaching staff to understand that, you know what, I got to coach these guys and I need them to perform and you got to hold them accountable.
I mean, I'm here for it. I would love to see the Sacramento Kings end their drought of playoff misses.
This is the year. I'm rooting for the Kings.
16 years
I'm
deep.
rooting for the Kings.
Jack, somewhere listening to this right now, we're with you this season. Don't let us down, otherwise we will leave and never return. This is your chance. They've gone all in. They traded away Tyrese Halliburton, one of the best young point guards in the NBA. So you can't do that and then still not make the playoffs. It's your time. Let's see it unfold. Let's see it happen. Because I'm ready. I'm ready. I might even take a trip to Sacramento if they get there. If they get to the playoffs. Because
I love Sac.
You got to think about this. You got to think about this. Those fans haven't seen playoff basketball since before iPhones were even invented. Do you know how crazy? It's like BJ, I don't know if you've ever tried doing Ramadan. When you fast in Ramadan, you're fasting 16 hours in a day. When you finally get that meal, it's not just any meal. BJ, what's your favorite meal? What's your favorite thing to eat?
I'm just a food person.
Just give me a random example.
Doesn't matter. I can go rice. I can go
rice.
Chicken. I can go.
Okay.
Chicken and rice. I do it all.
Chicken and rice. Chicken and rice is really nice, right? But when you've not eaten or drank anything for 16 hours, do you know how much better that chicken and rice tastes? The same way, playoff
nourishment, nourishment. It's nourishment.
100%. But playoff basketball is great. But when you've not had playoff basketball for 16 years, do you know how crazy the atmosphere will be inside that arena for game one? Or actually game three? Because I'm not anticipating home court advantage for this. Like, I'm showing them love, but let's not get carried away. You never know. But that game three, the first playoff game in Sacramento, if they can get there, even like the play-in, I don't know, maybe, it's going to be the craziest atmosphere. I think that'll be the baddest atmosphere in the whole playoffs. I'll say that right now. They're starved. The fans are starved. So I'm ready for that. Have you got any other thoughts about the Wizards or the Lakers or the Knicks? Because otherwise we've done all 13.
The Wizard, I saw the Wizards play over in Japan. You got Rui, you have Kyle Kuzma. Look, they got some nice players. But I think their bigs, their health is always going to be a concern, especially with Porzingis. But if they can stay healthy, though, they got some talent over there.
They started off last season really hot,
some talent,
and then it kind of drifted away. But it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting season because they're kind of in like the NBA purgatory of not being good enough to contend, but not being bad enough to be in the Wemby sweepstakes. So,
but you know what? Don't sleep on it. I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
Don't sleep on Kuzma, Porzingis, Bradley Beal, Rui.
I'm not sleeping on Kuzma. I think has potential to have a really good year. He could challenge like how Andrew Wiggins was an all-star last year. I think Kuzma could be a wild card for becoming in that conversation. I'm not saying he'll make the all-star team, but if he could put up some nice numbers. Porzingis, I think, could be really good. My problem with him is just the health. Like, we all know he's got the tools to be really good on both sides of the ball if he can get moving laterally again. But can he get healthy? But I had this thought the other day, actually thinking about All-Stars. So many players are returning to the NBA now that we might not see any first-time All-Stars. Because you got to think,
I was thinking about that
Kawhi,
today.
Paul George, Zion, Ben Simmons, like all these Jamal Murray, all these All-Star caliber guys are coming back. So the first year, or the first time All-Star guys are going to get pushed down the pecking order, because I don't see a world in which Zion isn't an all-star or Kawhi is not an all-star. Like, so for a young player trying to make their name in it, I kind of feel bad. Well, I don't feel bad because this is the game, but do you see what I mean? Like any other year, they might have their first all-star appearance, but this year, because everyone's finally healthy and touch wood, they stay healthy.
Well, that's the key. They stay healthy and they actually play.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kyrie got all-star votes last year like crazy, even though he didn't play a single game.
He was pretty good last night, by the way.
Well, Kyrie, I watched a little bit of that Brooklyn game, and do you know what the differencing factor is for the Brooklyn Nets? I'm going to have to Google the name.
Simmons?
No. I have to Google the name because I don't want to mispronounce it, so I want to see it in front of me. Igor Kokoshkov. Do you know Igor? He's just signed as an assistant coach with the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, I do know. Oh, the coach. Yeah, he's coach of Phoenix Suns. Yeah,
coach of Phoenix Suns the year where they were supposed to draft Luka.
And Utah. He was at Utah. He was.
Yeah.
And he was at Utah. Yeah, I know.
From before, he's a Serbian coach. But the changes that he's made to the offense, they're finally running an offense, unlike what we saw in the playoffs last year. And I think it's his impact.
I know. No. You're taking this way. Whoa, it's preseason.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something.
Okay, tell me.
Let's make this real simple for everyone who's not watching like you and I every single night.
Okay.
They're doing one thing. Right now, you have a player who is not looking to score at all, and he's facilitating the basketball, and his name is Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing right now. Now, what's going to be interesting to see is the defensive schemes that they're going to put up against Ben Simmons as they get used and they start seeing what he's doing. But right now, Ben Simmons, okay, I saw him play. Ben Simmons would have easily had a triple-double in the last game.
Yeah.
Actually, he was really, really good. It frees up the spacing on KD and Kyrie. They don't have to initiate the offense at all. The kid's big enough to pass the ball, and he's a willing passer. I mean, he really
too willing.
He had like
8 or something. Like I don't remember exactly.
That's what I'm saying. And he didn't even look at the basket. Now, he would be fun to play with because he's always just looking to pass the ball. Like he's on a break. He's not even looking at the basket. He's just looking to see who he can pass it to. Mm-hmm. So Kyrie looked terrific. KD looked terrific. The bigs, Claxton, these guys were catching alley-oops all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben Simmons really does a nice job on the offensive end. Mm-hmm. However, these defenses are going to make, they're not going to show it now. They're just trying to get their conditioning now. So we'll see as the season goes on. After 20 games, Mo, let's you and I revisit this conversation.
I'm giving you the prediction.
Okay.
The offense for the Brooklyn Nets is going to be miles ahead of what it was last year. Even if you had put Ben Simmons in it
that's not saying much.
That's saying exactly what I was originally saying.
That's not saying much. The one guy was out of shape, Harden, last year.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie didn't play with like 17 games last year. Mm-hmm. So
I don't mean the players. We do. I mean what they do.
You're going to get
operating areas they put them in. What they do.
Harris is going to be back now. Harris is going to be back. Curry's going to be back at some point. I mean, they're going to be better just naturally. And they got a guy actually now who wants to pass the ball. I mean, come on. Like, they're going to be better just.
Yeah.
You and I were out there.
What I'm saying is they're actually running stuff rather than just give KD the ball and we'll stop and watch him try and score the basketball like they did in the playoffs.
What else could they do? Kyrie wasn't there. James Harden wasn't there.
Kyrie was there. Kyrie was there getting swept.
Kyrie's only there like 17 games last year.
I'm talking about the playoffs. You got 4 games. You got to show up.
I'm talking about that too.
You available?
How are you going to get it? How are you going to get in shape in an 82 game schedule and you only play 17 games? Come on. All right, let's move on. Let's come on. There's a reason they play preseason. There's a reason. Come on, Mo. Stop. Come on, Mo.
We'll see.
Don't. Let's let the narratives play themselves out. Let's not like try to. He got swept in the playoffs. Guy played 17 games. He couldn't even play a home game.
That's a Kyrie problem. That's not me.
Play a home game last year.
That's a Kyrie. He did. He played 2 at home, lost them both, got swept and sent home by the world famous Boston Celtics. That's exactly what happened. Anyway, we wrapped up another episode. The season starts. I'm so excited. We got Monday's episode, and then Tuesday morning, We'll have a preview of that games for that night. And then Wednesday morning, we'll be talking about NBA action back on our screens. I'm hype.
I'm all for it. Get your rest this weekend, Mo.
BJ, get your laptop charger because you guys don't
coming
know.
in.
You guys don't know, right? BJ left his laptop charger. And so we've been basically using his laptop battery, praying that the battery doesn't run out for the last 2 or 3 episodes now. So you're going to have to locate that charger before Monday.
Oh, I'll have it first thing tomorrow.
We're going to need it
first thing tomorrow.
Spitting this fire that can melt the chargers. But anyway, appreciate you guys rocking with us all week. Enjoy your weekends. We're going to be back on Monday morning bright and early because we bring you more of the Hoop Genius podcast presented by NBA 2K23. If you want to join the conversation, hit the link in the description to join our Discord server where you can talk to me and all the other members of our community about the NBA. So we're going to be back. See you guys soon. Have a great weekend. BJ, have a great weekend. And as always, get buckets.